guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm the crochet designer slash business strategist here behind A Crafty Concept. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable Santa Addi bear. This guy is designed after the original Addi bear, which is already a full video tutorial here on my channel. This is what the original looks like. So just like the Santa Claus one, it's just he's not all festive. If you've never made this before, you probably should make one of these before you make this guy because he's a little bit different. Mostly just color changes while we're making his pieces. There are a few color changes, and then his little hat here, which this part is crocheted, and his arms are crocheted, and his mouth is crocheted, in his ear, and the rest of it is made on the knitting machine, and we will get into that here in just a minute. But I wanted to let you know that this video is going to be fairly quick compared to this video for the sake of time, because this one was I think over an hour long. So I'm just going to do it kind of quickly to tell you where the color changes are, but if you need a more step-by-step instructions, definitely check out this video. We also have the pumpkin version, which is live as well. I will put links to all of these versions down below for you. Let's get started with our Santa Addi bear and see how to make this guy with his color changes and all of the good things. We are going to start with our bear body color. This is Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek in the color Brownie. That is what I'm using to make my bear head. So cast on with your bear body color yarn and then crank out 16 rows. This is going to be our inner head, and if you've seen the original Addi bear pattern, that makes sense to you. Okay, I have finished cranking out 16 rows, and now I'm going to take my work off of the knitting machine. If you've never seen this done, please refer to the original Addi bear pattern. I do this much slower and in detail for beginners. You can set your 16 rows of inner head aside, and now we're going to cut off some pull yarn. This is going to be about 4 feet of yarn. More is better, and we're going to use this to pull closed our little neck on the Addi bear. Once we start making his body, you could set that aside and then go ahead and cast on with your bear body color again and start making the head that's going to be attached to your Lovey. So we are going to do 16 rows of our bear body color again. This is for the outside portion of our head. After we do our 16 rows of our head, we're going to do our 1 row of pull yarn. That's going to help us clinch up our neck here in a little bit. And then we're going to switch to red and crank out 20 rows of our red yarn. After we crank out our 20 rows of red, it is time to switch to our black yarn. I'm just putting the red in the center because we're going to use it again. Crank out 6 rows with our black yarn, and then we're going to pull the red back out of there and finish the rest of our red still attached to the skein. Now we can pull our red back out, give it a nice tug so it's nice and clean, and crank out 13 more rows using our red. We are going to end our Addi bear by using our white yarn and cranking out 5 rows of white to give us that little white trim at the bottom of our Addi bear. Then we're going to just do a couple rows of waste yarn. This will help us see what we're doing a little bit better when seaming up the bottom of our Addi bear. You can watch the instructions for how to seam up the bottom of your Addi bear on the original Addi bear pattern linked below. Okay, I've completed this far along in my little Santa bear body journey. All of these instructions are explained in the original Addi bear if you need more help. Now we are going to put on his little belt buckle. Since this is new, I'm going to be doing this here on camera with you guys, but first I want to go ahead and secure some of these little tails in here. just so they're not so crazy. You don't want to pull it too tight because then it will make your product buckle. So I'm just going to knot them together in here. And then these two, I'm just going to give it a little tug to kind of close up that hole. Again, not too tight or it will buckle and look weird. Okay, now we can stitch on our little belt. So to do this, lay your work flat. It's still going to be a little funky. See that little dip? That's because we changed colors and stuff. There's really not much you can do about that. And we can fool with it. I think that red is probably a little tight from when we used it again. That's probably, that helped a little bit. Okay, so make sure it's laid flat. We're going to be using the surface slip stitch. So you're going to need your crochet hook. It's a little hard to show because a lot of the work is going to be done inside like this. Like my hand is going to be in the bear. But what's going to be happening inside the bear is, actually let's see if I can do a little sample swatch here on my little inner head. So I'm going to insert my hook into the body of my bear down here. And then inside, this is all going to be inside, right? You can't see this. I'm going to stick my yarn in there. I'm going to grab it and pull it up to the front, like this. And then we are going to go holding things kind of taut down there in the work, hidden in the work. You're going to insert your hook into the body, wrap your yarn around it, like this. And then pull it through your work and the loop on your hook. The first one's the hardest. Then we're going to go back in, loop it around just like I showed you, pull it through the work and through the loop. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing, but I just wanted you to see this, what's happening under here, because that's going to be happening inside of the bear body and I won't be able to show it to you on camera. So that's what's going to be happening. And then this is kind of like what it's going to be looking like. So let's grab our bear body. I just like to eyeball where the center is. If you are a math person, you can count your stitches. I'm going to put my belt about right here, okay? And it's going to be a square. So I'm going to go in down here. I'm going to insert my needle, my hook, in this little V shape here of that black stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my yarn inside, hook it around my hook, and pull it up. Okay. Next, I'm going to go into this next V shape here, right above where so I just went in the first black V shape. Now I'm going to go into the second one. Black is not the best choice, I hope you can see. Can't really change Santa's belt color this late in the game, okay? Grab my yarn, pull it through. Next one. And your tension here is going to dictate how tight your little stitches are, so keep that in mind. I'm going to go all the way to the end. It looks like it should be 6 stitches because I have 6 rows of black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Might need to be something that you do a few times till you get all your tension looking good. That's a little sloppy, so I'm probably going to do it again. But after, I'll finish it here on camera with you guys just to show you how, and then I'll probably do mine again off camera just to keep my tension better. I'm a little sick right now, so everything's having to be done like 3 times. So now we're going to turn our work and go this way for 5 stitches or 6 stitches. So we're in this V is one we just came out of, so we're going to go right in the next one, just like that. 1 and the next one, just like that. Next one. Okay. Okay. All the way over here. Okay, and now we're gonna go up this row right here, turn your work. 1, 2, oh, there we go. 3, that's a good hold right there. 4, 5, and 6 in the top. Okay, looking good. Tension's weird. Like I said, I'm gonna have to redo it, but I'm gonna go across this way. It's really difficult to do when you're sick. I'm also taking Sudafed, so I'm shaking. I don't know how many stitches that is. It looks like a lot. Why does it look like so many? That's a lot. I'm just gonna keep going, you guys. I just don't. You get the idea though. Now the hardest part is this last stitch because it's I'm going right into the spot where my first stitch was. Because it's a little bit messy, but we can fix it with our tapestry needle. So let me just. I keep trying to get my actual, hang on. So I need to pull the original tail out of the way. It's in my way, so I just pulled it out because I kept fighting with it under here. Okay, and then we can cut our yarn and pull it all the way out like this. And then take your tapestry needle and pop it back through this. There. That's the basic concept. I'm going to redo mine because it looks really sloppy. You do yours however you like. This one was done differently. I think I just kept a really loose tension, so it's much bigger, fewer stitches. This one was more of a tighter tension, more stitches. Play with it until you get it the way that you like it, and then we can move on to adding our head the same way that we do in the original Addi Bear pattern, our arms, our faces, and then we'll come back and make our Santa hat and attach it. Okay, I just wanted to show you that I was able to do a much better job once I wasn't working around my tripod and gave myself a little bit of, you know, time to breathe, but it looks much better now. Okay, now we are going to make our little Santa hat. I want to show you where I'm at so far. This is where we are at. I didn't make an attach, well, I made the ear, but I haven't attached it yet because I want to attach the ear and the hat at the same time so they look nice. But here's what we've got. Again, if you missed any of these steps, you can check out the original Addi Bear pattern. The arms are made exactly the same way, just we added some color changes. So for anybody who doesn't want to reference the pattern, the arms go 4 rows of brown, 2 rows of white, and then the rest in red. Let's go ahead and make our Santa hat. You will need a Pom Pom Maker if you want to make the pom pom the way that I make the pom pom. Links to everything is in the description below. So we're going to take our H crochet hook and our red yarn, and we're going to single crochet 6 into a magic circle. So this is how I make my magic circle. And we're going to single crochet 6 into the center. 1, 2, and this is made in the round. 4. So grab a stitch marker if you would like. Okay, pull our magic circle closed. For round 2, we are going to increase in the first stitch, then single crochet 2, then increase in the next stitch, then single crochet 2. We're going from 6 to 8. So I'm going to go ahead and use my stitch marker just so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see on camera. This round is going to have 2 increases, so we're going to increase here in the first stitch. Here we go. Increase, which just means 2 single crochets in the exact same spot, just like that. Then we're going to single crochet 2 times, 1, 2, then we're going to increase in the next stitch, increase, and then we're going to single crochet 2, 1, remove our stitch marker, 2. Now we have 8 in round 2. Let's move up our stitch marker. For round 3, we're going to single crochet 2, 1, 2, and then we are going to increase in the third stitch, increase, then we are going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, and then increase in the next stitch. We're going from 8 stitches to 10 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet in the last stitch, giving us a total of 10. Move up our stitch marker. For round 4, we're going to start with an increase, so 2 in the same spot right here, 1, 2, then we're going to single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we're going to increase in the next stitch, and then single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives us 12 stitches in the round. I'm going to go ahead and flip it right side out now. For round 5, we're going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, then we're going to increase, then we're going to single crochet 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we're going to increase, and then we're going to single crochet 2, giving us a total of 14 stitches in the round. For round 6, we're going to single crochet 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to increase, and then we're going to single crochet 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to end on an increase. Okay. For round 7, we're going to single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, then we're going to increase in the next stitch, single crochet 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to increase, then we're going to end with single crocheting 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's going to give us 18 stitches in the round. For round 8, we're going to start with single crocheting 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then we're going to increase, then we're going to single crochet 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to increase in the next stitch and then single crochet in the last 2 stitches, giving us a total of 20 stitches in the round. For round 9, we're going to increase in the first stitch, single crochet 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, increase in the next stitch, and then single crochet 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, move it up. Perfect. That gives us 22 stitches in the round. Now we're going to do round 10. We're going to start by single crocheting 3, 1, 2, 3, then we're going to increase. Then we're going to single crochet 12. $11, $12, then we're going to increase, and then we're going to single crochet 5, which is going to give us a total of 24 stitches in the round. 4 and 5. I'm not going to finish out number 5 because we are going to switch to our white yarn. So switching to our white yarn, to do that I'm just going to let go of my red, grab my white, okay, hello yarn bomb, and finish out the last single crochet on my hook with the white, and then move up my stitch marker. You can go ahead and cut off your red too. For round 11, we are just going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch all the way around, giving us a total of 24 stitches. You may have noticed that I yarn under instead of the traditional yarn over. That's just how I taught myself to crochet. It creates a slightly tighter fabric than yarning over does. You're welcome to go in either direction for your Santa Addi Bear. It does not matter for this pattern, so you do whichever one you are more comfortable with. This is how I taught myself to crochet. I didn't even realize there was a difference for the longest time, so that's why I do it this way. Okay, and 24. Move up our stitch marker. For round 12, we're going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch all the way around, again for a total of 24 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 20, 21, 22, 23, and the last stitch. I'm going to go ahead and move out our stitch marker. 24. Now it says to slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 1, and turn. So I'm going to slip stitch right here, just like that, chain 1, and turn our work. So we are no longer working in the rounds, we are working in rows. So we are going to single crochet 24 in the back loop only. So we are going to go in the back loop. So if you look at the top of your stitches, this is normally where we would insert our hook. That's under both loops. This right here is the front loop because it's closest to your body. This is the back loop because it's furthest from your body. So that is where we are going to place our 24 single crochets, and that's going to help create the lip here to help the brim of the hat fold up nicely. So we're just going to single crochet 24 around, going in the back bump only. You can see the back loop only. You can see the front loop is left there, and then it's going to fold up really nicely. So that's why we put that in the design. Okay, and 24. Then we're going to join into the top of our first single crochet. Okay, and chain 1. Now for row 14, we're just going to single crochet 1 time in each stitch all the way around, giving us again 24 stitches. This time we're going under both loops. So we're just going to single crochet 24 like normal. 22, 23, 24. Join into the top of our first single crochet and tie off, leaving a very long tail for sewing your little Santa hat onto your Santa Addi Bear. That's probably a couple feet, like maybe 3. Okay, now we're going to sew in our tails that we did here, or hide them. I'm going to sew in my first one so the structure is secure at the tippy so it doesn't unravel or something. And then we're going to set this aside and make our pom-pom using our Pom Pom Maker. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be hidden inside of your bear hat. And just knot these two together here. And I really like this style knot better. I feel like it's more secure. Kind of like you would tie a balloon. Okay, And now we can flip our hat right side out. And then this little part is gonna fold right up just like that and be our little cuff. And we will add some stuffing in here. Doesn't take much, just to give it some shape. And then we will attach this to the top of our heads. But we need to add the pom-pom. We probably should do the pom-pom before we got the stuffing. I got a little carried away. So let's do our pom-pom first. It's really little, so it works very quickly. This is from Clover. I have these in multiple sizes. I use them every time I need to make a pom-pom. So you open two of the little legs here, keep them together. Okay, so you just kind of hold your yarn and then wrap it with the other hand. I like to count how many times I go back and forth. So that's 1 all the way down to one side. I'm gonna go back. That's 2. I'm gonna go back. That's 3. Go back. That's 4. Go back. That's 5. I'm gonna go one more time to make it 6. Actually, just kidding, we're gonna do 7. And the last one's gonna be kind of loose. 7, okay. Now close that puppy and open up the second one. And then we're gonna make sure we do 7 passes again, so they're fairly the same size. Thickness. 1. Okay, 7. Now we close it and we can cut our yarn. And then we can cut in between these little pieces here. The sharper your scissors, the better for this part. If you do not have sharp scissors, this part will be miserable. Honestly, sharper than this would even be better because it's a little hard with pansy scissors. Okay, and clip that off. All the way down, both sides. Ugh, I need sharper scissors. I don't want to get them. Almost. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to grab a big old piece of white yarn. Okay, and we are going to wrap around all of these little tiny pieces of yarn that we just cut. So they're going to go around it and then kind of between these little pieces here. And it grabs all of the yarn and clusters them together on the inside. And then we're just going to make sure we tie it nice and tight. So make sure you don't snap your yarn. Okay, and these are not machine washable. That's the only thing about these. They are not machine washable, which makes this Lovey not machine washable, which is not ideal because this thing is for children, right? So it's going to like get dirty. So you might want to find another way to do the pom-pom. If you do want it to be machine washable, you could probably do like a tiny faux fur pom-pom and attach it really good. That would be fine. You could even crochet like a white ball and tie it on top, and that would be fine. But I would not wash them the way these are made because these white bits will fall out. So secure it as tightly as you can. I'm gonna go around the other side too. I usually hold this between my legs while I knot it here, but I'm gonna try to do it on camera. Pull it tight, but don't snap your yarn. Okay, and then we can release our Pom Pom Maker by opening up the little arms here and then pulling the two pieces apart. Oop. Out pops your cute little pom-pom. Now you can use your very sharp scissors, again, the sharper the better, to trim this guy up. Try not to get carried away with your trimmings. It's nearly impossible, but try. Because you don't want to trim it so much that it doesn't even look like a pom-pom no more. Not bad. So, again, don't be trimming them all day long because you could just never stop. I say that and I'm still trimming while I say it out loud to not do that, but here I am. Okay, now we're going to attach our little pom-pom onto our Santa hat by pulling it into the inside of our hat and tying it off really good. So I'm just going to use the Tapestry Needle. I'm going to go in on one little side of my circle and pull that down in there. Okay, and then grab the other tail, put it on the other side of the circle, just like that. Pull it in there, Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of flip it so I can see what I'm working with down here, and we're gonna knot it really well. And then I'm gonna give it, I call these balloon knots, like, because you kind of knot it like you would tie a balloon. And then you can cut off your tails so they're not so long. And now we can attach our little Santa hat to our bear. That's a big old puff, I love it. Okay, so the way that I attach these is, again, I use a tapestry needle, but I like to attach right here, like in the lip, right where it's folded over. So that way this part is the part that's pushing against the head of the bear, and then this part isn't affected. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push my tapestry needle into the base down here, so I'm not starting at the top where the row ended. There. We'll go ahead and put that polyfill back in. Doesn't take much. We're just giving it a little bit of shaping. Let's grab our bear. Okay, so you can use sewing pins to hold your hat in place if you'd like, so it can help you get a better look at what you're doing. Boop. So that's where that's potentially gonna go. I messed up on my ear, so I don't have a tail. Ideally, there's a tail hanging off here, but I messed up, so I'm just going to use a new piece. But then this is going to go fairly, you know, next to the hat. I think I'm going to scoop my hat up a little bit, so it's not completely on the side of his head. It's more like off-centered a little bit, because he's a cool guy, right? Too cool to wear his hat. If he wore it straight in the middle, it would look like a birthday hat, which, you know, pattern idea, birthday teddy bears, by putting it smack in the middle, and you can put his little ears next to it. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, and then the ear will go next to it. So I'm going to attach this first, and then we will attach the ear. So I'm going to go into the body of my bear head, and then out the fold part of my hat. Pull it through, and then go back into the fold part of my hat, down here like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull it out so I can adjust it as I go. Okay, and then back into the body of the bear head, and then back into the fold of the hat. And I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'm not going to do it on camera because you ain't got all day. I will keep doing what I just showed you all the way around. Pop it back out until your hat is completely attached, and then tie off and hide your tails inside of the head, and then add your ear, and I will do that, and then I will come back and show you my finished Santa Addi bear. Surprise, I'm back. I thought maybe somebody would like to see how I tie off, so back up into the hat one last time. I guess I could tie off inside the white part of the hat. That would work. Okay. Just knotting it real good, so it's nice and secure. And I'm going to hide my tail into the head of my Addi bear. Oh, hi. Okay, pull it down in there, fix the hat there, and pull this while you snap it, and it just disappears like magic. When I first learned that, my mind was blown. Okay, now I'm attached to the ear, and that is in the original Addi bear, so I'm not going to do it on camera. Be right back. Ta-da! Now our Santa Addi bear is complete. Isn't he precious? This is a Lovey, but when you post pictures on Instagram, don't be alarmed when people start asking you if it's a hat. I get that comment all the time when I post pictures of Addi bears. Feel free to play around with the different types of yarns, with the different bear colors. You could even try to change up the face a little bit and make like a Santa kitty cat with a pointy ear and add some whiskers and take away the snout. All kinds of fun things that you could do with this pattern. Please tag me in any pictures at A Crafty Concept and let other makers know where you got this pattern from. Even if you tweak it a little bit, if you can send people to me for the original design, that would be fantastic. That really helps me get to continue what I'm doing over here at A Crafty Concept every day, putting out free crochet patterns and knitting machine patterns and crochet business tips, helping crocheters start and grow the crochet business of their dreams selling finished pieces. If all of that sounds like a fun party to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss a single video as I continue to post them. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will answer every single one of them. Thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying the pattern. I will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.